Well, I'm going to say something about this Bowie knife right from the beginning. You can't get a better Bowie knife for the money, no doubt about it. This is I got this from Bud K. It's available on Amazon. It's available on Google stores, eBay, and all that type of stuff. I was looking at the various reviews. A lot of people telling me various things that were incorrect information. So, first off, it's made in Pakistan. So, you know, some people say Pakistan. Well, Pakistan doesn't really make too bad of knives. If whether you agree with that or not, I mean, for the money, they're freaking great. For the money. This knife, I don't think this knife is going to fall apart very easily at all. It's got full Tang construction. You can see that. These are brass pins, brass pommel, and brass handguard. I think it's brass plated. Okay. Now, I don't know if the brass will ever wear out, but say if it does, you just put some chassis saver on it or something in black or whatever, you know. It's not going to freaking make a difference in how it wears. The model number is TR65. It's called the Timber Rattler Outlaw Bowie, I believe it is. And it has, it's a very hefty knife, I can tell you that right now. I'm going to show you some other knives over here too, just for the hell of it. Now, some people complain about the sheath, and I don't think the sheath is really bad, to tell you the truth. It is leather. It's not. Some people thought it was some kind of foam. It's not. That's leather in here. They used thick leather to take up the space of the knife. Now, say for instance the sheath wears out, or you poke a hole in the sheath. Well, you get. That's going to put out some other tips on here. You get a speedy stitcher like this. I think these are like, you know, made in the USA. You got two colors of. You could do different colors of. You know, it's very heavy sewing needle thread. You can hand stitch, repair whatever you need to do with the sheath. You can also just cut out a couple new pieces of leather, just like that, and put it over that and stitch it right through that again. Say if this was getting frayed or something. Some people bitched about the loop being too big, but the loop is not too big for a web belt. It's too big for a skinny belt. So say you take your speedy stitcher and you put some stitches right here, and it fits your belt tighter. You probably do want something on the bottom with a leather lace. You can actually sew a leather lace to the edge right here and have it tied to your leg so this doesn't flop around. So, I mean, you know, what does that cost you? $1, whatever. So, here's a knife. It's 16.5 inches long overall. It's huge. The back of it, I can tell you right now, I think the back of it, the spine, is a full 1/4 inch thick. It's not 3/16. It's not like 9/64. It's a 1/4 inch, man. This sucker is huge, man. It's huge. Not getting out my vernier caliber or nothing like that, but well, first off, we'll just put this down like that. Yeah, 16.5 inches long. The blade, I believe it's 16.5. The blade is 11.5, 11 3/4. We're talking about from here to the tip. The whole knife itself is 16.5 inches, 16 3/4, excuse me. The blade, okay, the blade is 11.5. The knife itself is 16 3/4. That's what it is. Okay, I had that a little bit off. I don't remember exactly. The steel, I was trying to find out what kind of steel there was, because this says TR65 stainless steel Pakistan. That's not the type of steel. I think TR65 maybe is a type of steel that it's usually 316, 420, or 440. I think that's called. I think that's another name for you know, what they call surgical steel, which so it doesn't rust. I doubt it's 316. It's probably 420. Okay, it's probably 420. Now, some people say, you know, it's a little more difficult, 420 versus 440, and I know it's like. It's 20. I paid $20, okay, plus $5 shipping. They had a sale on the shipping. It was normally, I think it was $8 shipping. I figure, what the hell? I don't know if I need a Bowie knife, and if I get another one, I'm going to get an Ontario USMC for $85. It'll be a little bit shorter than this, but this thing is more like a machete knife or an axe, small knife, and you can choke up on it. You see this? Your finger hold, that's cool. because this thing is a little bit unwieldy without this finger hold, unless you're really swinging it hard. I did sharpen it up, and I like using these things. This is an axe and machete sharpener. I know a lot of people say, oh, that'll ruin your blade. Yeah, right, sure. Yeah, well, other blades I've had for 8 million years, I've been sharpening them that way for, you know what it is? You don't press down on it too hard. I was using the knife one for this, but I used this axe machete one for that because it's so damn big. It was kind of dull out of the box, but you know, who gives a damn? It took me 5 minutes with this thing. And if you just say it's 420 stainless steel, which they say is a little more hard to sharpen, dulls a little quicker, not quite as much hardness. Well, you're almost dealing with a machete here versus it's bigger than the average Bowie knife by about 1 inch or so, okay? Plus, the spine on that is humongous. I swear to God, I think that is about a 1/4 inch thick. God damn it. Get this thing out of here. I believe it is. Well, maybe a 64th inch of 1 inch shy of 1/4 inch thick. No, it looks like a 1/4 inch. Looks like a 1/4 inch. If it's not, it's thousandths less. I mean, few thousandths less. Maybe, you know, 15/64. Is that right? You know, very close. If it's not a 1/4 inch. So you're not going to break this thing. The top edge is not sharpened. I think some people said it was sharpened. You could sharpen the top edge. I wouldn't do that because it would weaken the point. You know. I'm not, you know, the steel, some people are connoisseurs of knives. They'll tell you, oh, this knife's no good, don't get that, it's a waste of money. Well, not for that kind of money. And I wasn't really sure I wanted a Bowie, so this thing is and 99% of people, or say 99.99% of people, don't use knives in survival situations. So that's another issue. So it's like a camp knife, it's a handy knife, and all that kind of stuff. It's sort of like a machete. Now, I want to get on with a couple other things here too. This is another knife from Bud K. I just picked this up because it was $10. It was $20 for 2 of them and $5 shipping, so $12.50 each delivered. This is like it's called an officially licensed USMC knife. It's 420 stainless steel. I did epoxy and make sure the pins don't come out. I even epoxied all around here by the handle guard with I use 3M panel adhesive, the stuff that's used for gluing on quarter panels. It's way stronger than even JB Weld or any kind of epoxy. It's part number 08115. I mean, I only took a little freaking dab of it that big. I mean, I must have used like a fraction of a penny of this stuff. So I filled that in where the pin is. I filled it in here because that's the one disadvantage if you're using this to beat something. You might knock out that pin and lose all these washers, and it's probably best to take it apart and glue every one of them together. But this knife is not expensive, you know, and it's not going to come apart even the way I did it. But it is definitely lighter than a real KABAR. It's a KABAR, right? This is an officially licensed, precision engineered, you know, by USMC 420A stainless steel. I think 420A has I don't know if that's 420HC has a little more carbon in it, high carbon. It's not bad though. It's not bad. It's not bad. You can see it's slightly different, right? But it's damn close, man. It's damn close. Even the handle is a little different, right? Very slightly different. I mean, it's a little more contoured on this handle. The real one is a little more weight. But I got other knives, you know. I got this one. This is a KABAR. This is KABAR Skinner. Very good one. Made in the USA. This is a German-made Buffalo Skinner. Very good. It's been around a long time. Cuts very well. But this thing, I wasn't sure if I wanted to need a Bowie for anything. So let me just check out something else here a second. To be quite honest, I think this, you know, USMC, quote unquote, fabricated in China KABAR from Bud Case, probably wouldn't hold up to some serious abuse. I know that. But, you know, the other thing is, if you're freaking out into camping or something, and say you lose your knife, you're going to cry over this one. You're going to, I lost my freaking, you know, thing, my knife that was issued to me with my name and my emblem. And if you lose this one, I mean, who the hell goes out in a survival situation? Not many people. Now, actually, if I was to go out in a survival situation, I don't even like the KABAR standard size as much. I like the little one with the serrated edge. This is more of a handy size for camping. This, I'm going to have to test this out because I'm almost thinking this is a good, I'd rather be using this instead of my little mini axe that I got from Made in China or some crap, and I hate it. It's not going to be good as an Estwing camp axe, but then an Estwing camp axe isn't really like a knife, and you can kind of use this more like a knife. Like I said, if you're using this baton on the back of that thing, I don't care if it's 420 stainless steel, you're not going to break that. It's freaking huge. It's got a blood groove in it. And also, if you look, this is the full-size KABAR. Look at that. Makes it look small. Look at the, this is the KABAR I like, actually. It's more handy size. Now, if I get a Bowie, it's called like the KABAR Big Brother. Maybe it's not going to be quite as long as this, maybe up to there. But it's going to get the one with the serrated edge on the back, so I could saw with it from Ontario. I think that runs $80-85 plus shipping. But this runs, this was $25. So it probably kicks some ass though. And the other thing, I like sharpening, and then people go, oh, you don't want to do that. Yeah, well, I've been doing it 8 million years because I had the whetstones and shit, and I'm like, you know, come on, I ain't got all day. You know, what I do is I use this lightly, and you have this ceramic edge with the ceramic. The ceramic is not going to wear the blades out. So if you just got to tune up the blade, you could do it real quick with this. Because once you get that angle on it, you know, here's the coarse carbide, and here's your fine ceramic. Okay? You know? It says it right there. To me, this works great. You hold that down like that, and you go put your blade through it a few times. Fine. It doesn't wear it out. I mean, these knives are, this is 40 years old, that's 40 years old, right? This one obviously didn't get much use because that was a commemorative knife that was given to me when I was in the Marine Corps. So, anyway, and like I said, if you got a sheath that screws up, you got the sewing awl. You could just, you know, actually I think this sheath is not bad. It's really not, it's not bad. The stitching on it's pretty good. People say it's terrible, right? I don't know. It says timber rattler on it. It's got a nice cute little button on there. It's not real heavy duty, you know, right? It's got to be made thick so the blade fits in there, like with that spacer. But like I said, you could cut out an old scrap piece of leather from something, and it could be an old, I don't know, maybe you had a wide belt or something. It'd be a pretty damn wide belt. But and you can also beef this up too with that sewing awl, which if you got some leather laying around, it don't cost you nothing, right? But the knife, and actually I'm thinking it's probably best to hold it like this. I sharpened it a little bit already. I'm not going to sharpen that side. Let's give it a shot and give it a try out here and see what it does. Probably if you're going to use this like an axe, you probably want to wear a leather glove too, because I think you're going to feel the shock after a while through the tang, you know. And this, by the way, is actually real wood. It's pretty. It actually looks nice. It's just a hell of a knife for freaking this much money, man. You know, if this said made in the USA and say that was pure brass or something, which probably you don't want pure brass because it's freaking stronger not having it pure brass plated. People would probably love it a lot more. And maybe if it was, I'm not sure, maybe it is 440 stainless. I don't really know. I'm assuming it's 420, but I could be wrong. This one I know is 420A. Oh, not this one. This one. This one's 420A. This is was it 1065? Am I saying that right? I forget. High carbon steel. Oh yeah, the other thing I like about these with the stainless though, food preparation. So you're not gonna have rust on these things, right? So I was using this to cook some burgers with. You could slice your turkey or pizza with this thing. You know, pull this out of the kitchen. Yeah, let's slice up some of that large pie. Right? Let me check this out as an axe. I'm gonna try some other stuff here. This can be a long video maybe because I like throwing in other things that, you know, just here's the knife. Well, it does make a full-size KABAR look like a baby, don't it? I mean, really. Holy smokes, man! It is huge. It is huge even for a Bowie. You will not find any Bowies this big. I didn't see any anywhere. That was one of the attractions too. It was like an inch and a half bigger than every other Bowie out there, even 2 inches bigger. It's freaking. But that's why you need this choke up. You know. With that. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna sleep with that thing, man. It's gonna be there with my freaking AR-15 and 6.5 Grendel. Yeah. Well, here's another example. I don't know what I paid for this in Walmart. You know, 10-15 bucks or something. But it's like a little chopper axe with a paracord, and it's got a fire starter in here, which probably don't work well. Because it does work somewhat. It does work somewhat. You know, it's a Chinese. But swinging this, I can tell you right now, swinging this versus swinging this, I'd rather be swinging this as an axe than this pile of crap. I can tell you that right now. So it does have a use. It does have a use. Let me pull out an Estwing, a little one, a little Estwing. Well, I said little Estwing. Little means this has got a nylon sheath. I think this is like 40 bucks or something. It's powder coated. Yeah, you know what? This Bowie is kind of like the Estwing in a way. The Bowie is heavier. This Estwing I like too because it's got the sawtooth built back. That's what I was thinking about. If I ever got a Bowie I'd get one from Ontario with the sawtooth back, and you can choke up on this. You don't use. It's really the same size as machete. So, you know, I'm talking the overall length of this Estwing. 19.5 inches. This is 16 3/4. So it's 2.5 inches less or something like that, right? It's about the same weight. If you look at the top of it, right here's the Estwing. Here's this. This one's actually a little heavier, I think, than the Estwing, even though it's shorter. It's much thicker. So for people say this is a piece of crap, I ain't buying that. You know what I mean? I'm not buying that at all. I don't think so. I don't think so. What you can also do with this handle too is you can wrap leather around it. Say get you some leather shoestrings, wrap it around here. Then you don't have to worry about the shock if you're not wearing gloves. And then what's left over from the leather shoestring, you can sew it to and attach it to here. I wouldn't punch a hole through this. I would sew it to the edge up along here and use that as a, you could tie it off to your leg. And you can also even use a lot of times the leather shoestrings to beef up the loop, and this whatever cost you $2, and if you got a speedy you all for like $5, right? So let's give this thing a shot. So I tell you the truth, I think this thing chops okay. This thing I think would chop better. It's got more weight on the end of it where you're doing the chopping. So I know why people don't like it, because it's made in Pakistan. That's really what it is. I don't think this one I wouldn't trust. I think if you stuck this in a tree and you went like that, it might break it. You do that with a real one that's high carbon steel. I think it's 1065. I forgot what it is. It's really tempered right. It'll just rip the tree open. So this one I don't think you have a problem because it's so damn thick. It's like redneck theory. The thicker you make the metal, the stronger it is. We had weight, so what? Who cares, right? I'm gonna give this thing a shot, man. I already sharpened it somewhat with that. And I recommend these sharpeners. Just, you're not gonna wear the damn knife down. Just don't go over them too hard, especially if you got the ceramic. I don't like spending a million years freaking playing around with this crap with the oil and the stone. it works. This one's sharp as crap. So is this one, so is that one, so is this one. And this one even with the 420s, and that one is. That one I didn't quite get done yet. Even that piece of shit is. Well, I got no big branches laying around because I think I burned them up already in the fire. Now, even like I said, with that sewing wall, I sewed this glove like 10 years ago when the finger popped out. It's still solid. You know, I want to use it on this. I'm not going to damage it. It's a huge tree. It's just one of the roots. I'm just going to kind of chip the bark on it, see what the hell happens here. So, yeah. Okay. I'll spray a little stuff on there so it don't hurt the tree. I'll put some truck bed lining on it or something. Or what is that stuff? Rust-Oleum freaking, boy, that cut through the bark quick. So I know this thing would chop. This thing is actually an axe. This is a very good knife. And like I said, you could still choke up on it like that and just be a little finesse, you know, do some whittling. It is good. It is good. It's never going to rust. I mean, yeah, for stainless steel can rust if you're talking about sticking it in salt water. That's why they use 316 stainless steel on diving knives. But under normal conditions, it's 420, whatever this is, 420A or 440. I think it's 420. It's not going to rust. It's got a nice satin finish on it. It looks very pretty. It's not going to slip off your hand because it is. That's another feature. A lot of the Bowies don't have that. Because you're holding it, you're like, you can have it with your finger like this and like that. And they're going to fly out of your hand easy. Plus you got this. It is very, very nice. Actually, I'm kind of like not going to get the Ontario because of this reason. I think this thing's good enough. The only thing I would like is it had the sawtooth back on it, but you know, that would be kind of cool. Because you could saw through stuff. Anyway, let me fix Mr. Tree here and lay this down. So I got a lot of prepper shit. See, my trailer, freaking 60-gallon boat tank with diesel in it. Yeah, so anyway, it is well worth it. Don't let them sway you. For that kind of money, 20 bucks, and I paid 5 shipping. Now look around, you can get them that cheap. It is well worth it. Oh yeah, on these sheets, you want to use something like this heavy duty water repellent. This is good for like cloth and leather. I put it on all my boots and stuff. You want to use it on the sheets, on the inside, on the outside. You probably don't want to keep the knife in the sheath. The stainless steel won't be affected too much. But one reason I kind of do like, some people don't like these because of the appearance of the, you know, the nylon sheets, but they're less. They'll outlast the leather sheets, you know, under real use. But maybe not with this stuff. So I just put this stuff on them. So that's another quick tip. So long video, but I want to throw in a lot of little tidbits. Okay, you know. Speedy stitcher, that stuff. The Type D sharpeners, don't let them dissuade you. You always use the ceramic on the side. Doesn't just to touch up the blade, for crying out loud. It's no big deal. And you know, this knife overall is actually freaking really great. I don't think I'm gonna get the Ontario KABAR now because it seems like this sucker could do the job for anything. I don't think that's gonna break. I wouldn't trust the fake KABAR too much. You know, officially licensed fake KABAR. That's a good deal though, but this one, I don't think you're gonna break that sucker. Full Tang, right? About a 1/4 inch thick. You know, I don't think you're gonna break that sucker at all.